Hello, my name is Elerson, I'm 35 years old, and I'm here to talk to you and share a little bit of my experience with dyslexic students, which was the agenda that motivated my doctoral research. But before we get started, there's something that I must say. Dyslexic students, they must be helped by specialized professionals. I'm talking about educationalists, educational psychologists, speech therapists. So these kids, they must be helped by specialists. So when it comes to English teachers or language teachers in general, there's not much we can do for them if they do not have access to specialized help. Well, but the problem is that many of these students, they do not have access to specialized help, and they come to us, and somehow we are responsible for their failure or their success. So what can we do for them? So this is what I'll be talking to you during this video. Okay, what is dyslexia? Dyslexia is a learning disorder that involves difficulty reading. So students who have dyslexia, they struggle to read because their brain is wired in a different way. It's connected in a different way. Of course, we have to keep in mind that not being able to read properly doesn't mean that one is unintelligent at all. On the contrary, dyslexics, they are as intelligent as any other students. They having a reading problem, but they are capable of learning just like any other student. So we are talking about a reading difficulty. So these students, they will face trouble when they are exposed to reading-centered teaching. That being said, teachers must find ways to promote learning based on a synesthetic approach, which means allowing students to receive language input not only by written materials. In this sense, visual aids, they play an important role. They are of a great importance because they allow students to make sense of the language without having to face their greatest weakness, that is reading. For example, when teaching adjectives, when working on adjectives, instead of long adjectives lists, we can make use of emojis. Emojis are part of students' everyday life, so it's something very powerful for them. Instead of long verbs lists, we can use pictures to illustrate actions. So it's something really simple. It's not rocket science. The premise is basic. We show students pictures. We have students pronounce the words or phrases that correspond to the pictures, and we have them repeat as many times as possible. It's something really simple, and repetition is very important in this case because dyslexics also usually face memory problems, so it's difficult for them to memorize things, especially when it comes to words. So that's why we must give them the chance to use the new vocabulary. We have to let them use the new vocabulary orally, not only reading and writing, but speaking. We have to let them speak because that way, more than just memorizing, they will acquire the new structures or the new phrases or words. And the association between images and words is very powerful in this sense. Okay, so we are talking about an approach that does not prioritize written language, but it doesn't mean that writing is not part of the game. However, we must explore the students' strengths, and in the case of dyslexics, reading is not one of them. So when we excessively focus on writing, on written reception and production in the target language, we kind of exclude dyslexics from the learning process. We somehow deny the right they have of learning. That's why I suggest that we should assess these students in a different way. For instance, most of their grade should be a result of oral tests instead of written tests. As I said before, their brain operates in a different way, so it doesn't make any sense assessing them just the way we do to others. As for the challenges that teachers with no experience may face when dealing with dyslexic students, I think that the greatest challenge is not pedagogical at all. I think it's something more connected to being human. I think that it's all about opening your mind and acknowledging the fact that many students, they face a huge problem they cannot cope with. So we must be empathetic. We need to put ourselves in their shoes. We need to remember that a student's difficulty in learning may hide a very serious problem that requires specialized follow-up. Under no circumstances should we judge a student who has trouble learning because this student may have dyslexia or any other disorder. Behind a strange behavior, there may be a scream for help. So if you ever notice any suspicious behavior, you should talk to the educationalist of your school. You should talk to the pedagogical coordinator. You should talk to the student's parents. Because it can be dyslexia or any other disorder. If that's the case, this student needs specialized help. Well, there is a film that I would like to recommend. It's a very nice film. It's available on Netflix. It's called Like Stars on Earth. It's the story of a dyslexic boy, and it's so heart-touching. It's definitely a must-watch film. It's gonna blow your mind. I can assure that. Well guys, it's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it helps clarify the subject a little bit. I'm a little bit hoarse, my voice is not okay, but I try to do my best so you can understand me. Well, I wish you all the best in your teaching journey. I really hope that you make a difference in your students' life, be them dyslexic or not. See you soon. Bye-bye.